high school, was from Chattanooga. He's really turned it on the second half of this season. No good. Rebound. Here is Bonham. On the drive for two.
Four-time Coach of the Year. Both of these guys have had great mentors.
Third straight appearance for UC Irvine in the NIT.
You know, the shots look good, Mike. They really do. This kid shot like 37% on the season. But Russell Turner's staff told us today the key to guarding Irvine was to keep them from cutting and getting backdoor layups. There's that little big screen again. Didn't work.
It's over to Bonham. Baseline floating runner is good.
Really good-looking freshman out of San Diego.
We're down to 30 seconds remaining in the half. 20 on the shot clock for Chattanooga to shoot here, down by 2. Bonham does it again. It's the big man. He went in, and the basket is scored by Tillis. Here's Bonham. Good if it goes. He hits it.
Transferred up to D1.
On the drive and a block inside Whelan that time on Holmes' offering. Here comes Kiesler. Looking for the cutter. It's Bonham. He's got it. 31% shooting from the field. They've hit 3 3-pointers in the second half. That's the second half shooting percentage. Only down 3. Bonham got it.
Really tough.
8 points and 8 rebounds now for Leuston. Again, Bonham. Again scores it. 5 players for UC Irvine in double figures tonight. 4 for Chattanooga. Coming up on 3 minutes left in OT. Wild runner. Oh, it's good for Bonham.
Spread them out. Hard cuts. And open up the floor.
Starting 5 here for the Mocs, and underneath for the first bucket. Stay drafted by the Bulls. Here's Dawson, pulls up, doesn't go, rebound, Chattanooga.
And keep in mind, Huff's got a layup already, but he is a great shooter.
Kiesler, over for Bonham. Bonham again.
Oh boy.
Look out.
Yep. 2 players. Real and development in one Division I player. Almost a great finish.
Edwards a little bit too strong. And Whelan is one of 4 players in double figures in scoring for this team. 14 points a game. 3rd behind Bonham and Huff. Here's Bonham for 3. It's good. And Chattanooga has reached
size for that long. You learn how to do that.
Ashley, how about it?
That's right, guys. I talked to Honor today. He said, look, I was never tall. It's not like I was tall and then I became short. He said I was that guy.
He's a great defender, but an improving offensive player. And as you mentioned, high IQ, great student. Good cut. Look at that offense.
Nice play. Yep. Bonham. Watson. Knocked away and stolen. 4 turnovers as Kiesler comes up with it, gets it up the floor for Huff. Now Juve, 1-on-1 for the moment with Rubin. Shot clock, still good time here, 12 to shoot. Bonham, yes.
Tough finish. Very.
Director Greg Ambrose, alongside Damon Lewis, Dylan Ureño, Emily Barker, Matt Stein, Bailey Chamberlain, Bree Manley, a lot of great people with us here throughout this week in Indianapolis.
Making us look good, Mike, and that's not easy.
Inside for the basket. This is Bonham.
Reminds me of one of those Jermichael Green guys in the league that you want on your team late in the year when you're trying to win games.
He's got 6 points. That was a big one to tie things up at 47. Three ball, Bonham, yes, and a foul. Started his career at VCU. And then, as you said, you and I saw him last year here in Indy with Georgia.
Yep.
He was in the semifinals. And now back in the A-10 with Loyola Chicago. It was a great pickup for them. A-10 and 6 teams in the NIT. This is the last one standing in Loyola Chicago. They want to get to the title game Thursday. UC Irvine awaits with the win earlier tonight over North Texas. Bonham, deep three. Wow! Trey Bonham gets it in. Dawson, it's a three. No good. Rebound Kiesler. Up the court to Bonham. That's fitting. The Bucks are going to be going to the NIT champion.
So far, and they've had success with it.
The man they call Meta comes up empty. Bonham gets to the rim quickly to score.
I expect the guards of Chattanooga to really step it up and push the issue.
And here's Bonham trying to push now. He has to slow down, though. The winner goes to the semifinals of the NIT as Bonham knocks down the three.
Game real-time adjustments, and their players are recognizing and picking it up.
Corner three is in from Trey.
Tremendous job of not panicking when the threes didn't go down. They stayed with what they wanted to do, and they got themselves back in this game.
Bonham. Now Mulholland. Approaching a minute left to go in a tie game. Bonham hits the three.
From the weak side, they call it bulldog action. So where you can either get the roll or you got a shooter rising up for a jump shot.
Huff. Looking for assistance. Outside Bonham three. Money! Trey Bonham.
Dayton has three guys that can initiate their offense. Smith, Bennett, and Cheeks, all three of those guys can initiate, which makes their transition lethal.
And no question, great guard matchup today.
I mean, you talk about big rebound. He's probably their best defensive player, as now they put him on the guard, and yes, he did, in a short amount of time.
6 turnovers for Dayton, but the key, 10 Chattanooga points off of those 6 Dayton turnovers. 8-point lead for the Mocs as half 2 begins. The winner gets either George Mason or Bradley in the quarterfinals. The floater by Bonham is in. The kick to the corner. The three missed by Smith, taken by Bonham. Bonham creates space and gets the jumper. All the way to the rack for 2. The lead down to 7.
Dayton is going to continue to attack you defensively. Their guards do a great job of containing the basketball.
Good ball movement. Bonham open. Money. Santos. Now Bonham counters. Got it.
Holding right now Dayton at bay.
Huff with the long pass down the floor to Bonham.
A little physical, and Bennett got grabbed around the net. They reviewed it, didn't call anything, but that's very unusual for Anthony to get that kind of upset.
Huff ahead to Bonham. Bonham quickly to the right.
Take a look at the starting lineup for Chattanooga. We mentioned Huff, Bonham, his running mate in the backcourt. Wheeland having a good year. One player not playing tonight, Frank Champion, who's their kind of point center. He is out with a knee injury. Regarded recruit coming out of high school, started his career at Louisville, played last year at Arizona State, has found a nice home here in Murfreesboro. Nice backdoor cut for Bonham, and he scores. Spent last year at TCU, and when they went to visit him in Dallas, and Huff missed another 3. He has not scored. Juf the rebound. Coach McDevitt said after we met with him, we just knew we had to have him as the floater is up and in of the game. But
sort of like
point.
the NBA.
Experimental rule, correct, on out-of-bounds calls. Backdoor cut from Bonham and an easy layup.
Finding him in defensive transition, even off the split action when two guys come together, they're just on him like glue.
Bonham finishes in amongst the taller. Champion Lipscomb up the road in Nashville. 4 teams from this state made the NCAA field.
And I think Lipscomb can win their first game against Iowa State, especially with Keyshawn Gilbert being out.
Big three by Bonham.
Let him go to the portal. You're going to have to pay him probably even more than what he's making. Who knows what he's making?
Stolen by Huff. Huff is wide open on the wing. Bonham will attack the rim instead and score. Lambs hit 2 threes early. That was his first point since then. 7 points for the game. Cuts the lead to 2. Backdoor look. Bonham in amongst the trees, lays it in.
I mean, he's moving. His pace of his cutting without the basketball, an example right there on the base out of back. Dribble penetration, getting to the paint.
You see the last double overtime game for each team in 7 years for the Mocs. Back to the rim, Bonham lays it up and in. 25 for Trey. 5 to shoot. Counter will hoist the 3. Rebound fought for, and it's run down by Bonham. Bonham with 9 boards now to go along with 6 assists and 25 points.
That was a really good rebound, guard rebound by Bonham to stick his nose in there and find a way to come up with those long rebounds. Long shots, long rebounds.
Look at the bodies hitting the floor here. Chattanooga keeps possession. Mocs have 10 on the shot clock. Bonham to the rim, lays it up and in.
Big-time shooter, great in the catch and shoot, great within Bob Rich's system.
Mulholland with the miss, Wieland with the rebound. Bonham gets through and scores. First on Heen, just the 3rd foul committed by the Paladins. A 3 is in for Trey Bowser.
It's a great offensive play, but Berman isolating the floor there in their pick and roll, really making it tough for Chattanooga to tag from the weak side.
Defense slips off of Richards. Now Bonham. Bonham, easy layup for 2. Smith, step back on Cusano. No good on the 3. Bonham had it, lost it, but kept alive for the Mocs. The chance of defense picking up from the Furman crowd. Bonham. Inside, pump fake, got it.
February 1st at the Roundhouse in Chattanooga, the Mocs won 93-84. Mercer actually led that game at halftime.
I thought he did as well, although the official on the baseline right there.
Remember when they used to say Akeem Olajuwon was great because he played soccer? I don't know if Stairs played soccer, but a walk is still a walk. Right to them. Mercer has turned it over 7 times since halftime. Wieland to Mulholland. Trey Bonham spins to the cup.
Out of bounds off the missed 3, goes back over to Chattanooga. Huff, Mulholland, ball worked inside. Kiesler, open look, Bonham, he buries it. Keydetz trying to fight back. They turn it over. Steal by Bonham. Lays it up and scores. Trey
will have a timeout in the next dead balls. We fall under 8 minutes to play until halftime. Turnaround for Saizono's wide left. Bonham the rebound. Opportunity for the Mocs to tie on this possession. Bonham past Saizono to the rack. Lays it in. Strong move from
But again, a great backdoor cut there and a great job to make the contact on the way through.
And a nice inbound play.
An excellent job of giving yourself some space and then putting it through the net.
Now it's Juve in the high post. Good looking bounce pass. Bonham comes up with it, spins around for the lay.
And back.
And 6 turnovers lead to those 8 points that Grace just mentioned. Meanwhile, UNCG has only turned it over 3 times in 24-plus minutes of action. Now the Mocs on the attack. This is Bonham. Bonham using the screen for Mulholland. Spins around through traffic. Lane goes through. +1.
And Breath wants to battle too, and he showed it there. Great job and good consistency with kind of keep fighting from under the net.
Now it's Bonham. On a give and go. Bonham 3. Nails it.
More than likely, I would see them being the #1 seed.
UNCG defeated Chattanooga in this building earlier this year, 78-75. Here goes Bonham.
But how'd you like to be a team that lost 2 games this year in the league and ended up as the 2 seed, right?
Yeah. Final few seconds. Bonham got it. First half.
10 minutes. That's a big 4 baskets. Or a big 2 baskets for 4 points.
Bonham.
3 points, Brody Fox.
Bonham. And more into double figures. He's got 10. 3 Citadel players with double figures. Bonham lets it go.
Bulldogs handle this defensively. They want to come out, as I said earlier, and there you see they're coming out to that NBA distance. What that does, though, it opens you up to ball gaps.
Whelan. Champion, the kick out. Here comes Kiesler. Nope. How about Bonham? 3 in a row.
Of Seymour being out is the 7 rebounds he gets per game. And then how will they make adjustments defensively? This is a team that about 98% of the time likes to look man. Will they try to go more zone here tonight?
Whelan drives, turns around, dishes. Huff out to Kiesler. Shot clock winding down for Chattanooga. Bonham from 3, and he connects. For Boyd, and it's a 2-point lead now for ETSU.
You know, typically Boyd is not going to take a lot of threes, but if you leave him open, he has not shied away from it.
Bonham with
rebounder. He's going to give it a try underneath the paint tonight, and he's going to give Frank Champion all he wants, at least when Frank's on defense, if he's got to handle that guy.
Bonham. Arcing 3 ball from inside a minute and a half to go. First half action, Chattanooga and ETSU tied at 30. Champion out to Bonham.
Chattanooga really trying to overload this offense.
7 to shoot. Bonham from 3. 4 of 4 in this second half. We've got a 2-point game again with just under 16 minutes remaining. Bonham off the screen. Huff, that's 2 of the best guards going at it in the Southern Conference. Bonham went for the steal and fell down, but he deflected it to Champion. And here comes Chattanooga. Champion steps on the accelerator. Bonham from three. Got it!
Jones to the hoop. Walls rips it away. Still loose, but taken by Chattanooga. That was Bonham. Euro step. Beautiful reverse. Oh, what a... Open. Good rebound that time by Whelan.
Yeah, they tried to box out Whelan. We're not able to get there.
Nice pass. Pump fake. Bonham again, left corner. Got it.
Come at us in waves, and so he reminded his team that he wants to be physical throughout the rest of the second half.
Well, Molly right on cue. Trey Fort with his first two, but Bonham the other way. Brownell left it short. Point blank attempt, couldn't get it to go, and boy, oh boy, there's Bonham. So smooth with the handle. Huff. Here's Bonham again. NBA three.
Yeah, he's going to keep the pressure up. You do want your back man maybe to get a little deeper, right? You deny everywhere else and have one safety a little further back.
Here's Champion. Good cut. Bonham again. That back fell. Holloway and Owinka going to come in for Sanford. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here, and it's a 10-point game. Into the right corner. Up with the left hand, Bonham again.
Coach Dan Earl, about what is this team now offensively? You know, is it still a team that is going to shoot a lot of threes? How have they changed? And he admitted to you that, hey, our philosophy is still threes, but we're okay with taking a two.
Bonham penetrates into traffic, splits the...
Available to another player that is rehabbing a little bit.
Three-point miss taken by Bonham. Bonham against Anderson, going one-on-one, going off the flush.
And that's how you handle that, right? You break open the floor, and you work it to the big guy, who could seemingly grab that ball out of anywhere.
Bonham, the reverse. The free throw line. Furman shooting 50% from the floor, 9 out of 22 from three in this game. Heen with a miss, Mulholland with a rebound. Chattanooga out-rebounding Furman, though, 30-19.
Yeah, this is work on the boards. Defense, work it out on the boards. And that was part of their game plan. They talked about their top 5 things they wanted to do today, and it was be aggressive on the boards.
Three is Tom House, and he drains it.
In a while that Furman has managed to find an open shooter.
Chattanooga had been on a 6-0 run, over 2 minutes since the last basket for Furman. Bonham off the screen from Champion, got it.
Shooter, best overall shooter, more in my opinion, for this Furman team. Here's the gamble. And will Chattanooga capitalize?
They do.
With almost 16 minutes to go in the first half. Bonham getting downhill. Dipsy-do layup, and he banks it in. High.
Which a lot of credit for being a team guy and recognizing, being self-aware. I'm not doing good at something. I need to do better for the sake of the team. Love it.
Bonham, acrobatic shot, and he banks it in. Trip. Filowich, shot denied by Champion. Champion gets the loose ball. He's been active on both ends. In the corner, Bonham. That's a three. And that's good. And finally a three goes down for Bonham.
In the inbounds, banking it right in. Bryant, he has 4. And Mercer back in front. One of the last things you talk about with your team before a game is special teams, and you see Mercer on that last possession scoring so. They have taken Robinson and put him on Costello. They do not want him hand battling with this guy, Bonham. Bonham gets the basket. Here comes Robinson again. He'll drive. It's stolen by Costello. Ahead to Bonham. One-on-one. Bonham scores. Holt with a rebound off the floor. Robinson penetrates against Champion. The miss. The tip back by Holt. Gets the rebound. Rejected underneath. Frank Champion swatted it away. Bonham opposite end. Bucket. The Chattanooga lead has been trimmed down to 4 with just over a minute remaining.
1 minute remaining in the game. 1 minute.
Chattanooga's led by as many as 9 in this second half. Good!
Berry. Jack Costello in the game now for Chattanooga as Bonham launches a 3, and good rebound by Kiesler. Bonham will try to take it all the way in against the 6'10 McKee. Light touch in the lane since getting healthy. Down low, Catamounts can't get it to go. Trying to get the dunk to get this crowd into it.
Now cutting back down the lane, and the soft touch by Bonham has been an issue all season, but especially when Bernard Palute is struggling offensively, then this becomes a critical matter for the Catamounts as far as finding offense. And now
of their own here as we hit the midpoint of this Southern Conference schedule.
Boy, a rare offensive rebound for the Catamounts, but again on the second chance the Catamounts unable to convert, and now Chattanooga with a chance to build on this 15-point advantage.
Jump stop in the lane. Go ahead and put it on the board. That's
so good Wednesday night against Western Carolina, playing on balance, under control with his feet under him. That time a bit out of control. Chattanooga forces the dead ball turnover.
2 points shy of Scott Place on the all-time scoring list. Been a long time since Seymour missed both in a trip. 2:15 to go in the half. Buccaneers lead still 5. Bonham behind a Mulholland screen. Now Mulholland has it out high. Gives it back to Bonham. To the elbow, to the block, forces it up. Good, and the foul. Flips to Johnson. Through traffic, had it back tap, stolen Champion. Gets it to Huff. And Huff wants to run the offense. Wheeland zips inside. And a great shot fake by Bonham. Layup good. Defensive rebound to Bonham. Mox still with a 4-point lead. 8:40 left. Bonham hop step layup. Good and one! Chattanooga now -2 on the glass. At one point, they were in a huge hole. Bonham to the right baseline, pulls up off the backboard, got it! Peterson off a screen, wants a 3, short. Rebound to Wheeland in traffic, spinning away, flips it away. Bonham has Juve with him, takes it himself and scores it! Pops you're gonna get. Home run again, looking for Bonham. He catches it like a wide receiver, and then a foul is called. Peterson hits the second, gets to 21. Kiesler will bring it up alongside Huff. Chattanooga up 7. They've led by as many as 12. ETSU led by as many as 12 in the first half, but has not led at all in the second. Bonham off a screen to the block, had it stripped, got it back, heaves it out. Kiesler with 6 to shoot. Kiesler rolls it to the block. Back out to Bonham with 3. Bonham drives, gets space, puts it home!
He's got 3 bigs, if you will, at his disposal. Allensbach is 1. We've seen the others, Jaden Brunell and Larry Olelenko.
The Euro step by Bonham, and he banks it in. Well, they got down the floor.
Did a heck of a job there. By the way, Andrew Wilson, one of the feel-good stories in SoCon basketball thus far.
Here's Bonham. Tough floater, rolls around, and it goes in.
That's the kind of city rebounds that Samford needs to get and finish.
Bonham scores a basket and a foul. He's 10 to shoot. Jones driving, skips it. Colin Holloway 3. Rebound got 4 by Bonham here for Chattanooga. Mox trying to respond. They were down 9, now they're down 7. Coming up on 6 minutes to go. Bonham getting downhill, high off the glass, and it goes!
Going to start to see some more separation as we head into the 4th week of conference play.
Off the inbound. Again, that roughly 10-second differential. Shot clock to game clock. Backdoor Bonham. What a nice find by Champion. Nicely designed play. Came in with 10 steals. Bonham on the wing. Kiesler loads up. Champion battles again for the rebound. Good find underneath to Bonham. Little shovel pass.
That one away.
Closing in on 30. Smith in the lane, had it knocked away by Bonham. He and Huff on the run out. Bronson back to defend. Pretty pass. Boy, they were playing 3 backs in. Knocked away. Shot clock violation, I believe. Nope, they're going to say play continues. Bonham pushing the pace as he is like to do, and he goes underneath the 6'11 Bowser. After the free throws by Costello, 2-point lead for Bonham. Trying to extend, can't get it to go. Mulholland keeps the possession alive, and Bonham from the corner.
1 on the shot clock for Arrington to inbound. Flynn at the buzzer. And a rebound off the floor. It's Whelan to Richards. Just over a minute remaining in the first half. 11-point advantage for Wofford. Here's Richards against Filowich. Whelan tries to drive on Civils. Bonham. Does not appear as though he is going to return as they continue to take a look at that ankle. Wofford led by as many as 20 in that first half without Tripp on the floor.
Very important 5-minute stretch here. Can Chattanooga string together a run?
That's how it starts.
Defender, and you need him on the floor. They will love the day when his offensive game comes around.
Bonham got it. 73 all. Here goes Bonham. The Southern Conference's preseason player of the year. Chattanooga 20 points out of Whelan, 15 for Huff, 13 for Bonham, and here we go. Shot clock is off. Final 15 seconds of this first overtime.
Trying to create some floor space here. They're going to play it straight up down to the end.
Bonham drives. Goes off the glass. Chattanooga leads. 2 seconds.
Deadly in the corners. Fair to say he shoots more than 50% of his threes from a corner shot.
Are you surprised they went zone against a team so good from outside?
I am, although that's something Dan Earl does consistently. He likes to change things up out of a timeout.
Trey Bonham spins, fires, and hits. And gets to the hoop, but can't finish.
Trey Bonham credit too. He hasn't forced anything here. He's not getting a lot of touches. He's had just 2 shots.
To a degree, that's been the story of the first couple conference games. And Bonham able to get to the hoops.
All Kiesler can do is ask the official for a push-off, and there wasn't enough to call.
Atwell is 5 for 5 from 3. He's got 21 points.
But the assistant coach for the Spartans, 3-time All-ACC, terrific NBA career. Yeah, Atwell. And to think he's not in the top 5 of Southern Conference shooters' three-point percentage.
It's a three-point shooting league. It has been for a long time. And Donovan Atwell having a game tonight. When Mike Jones joined this league after spending a decade in the Big South, he wondered if his defense would work in this league as Bonham.
And I think this legend goes, and maybe it's true, they moved the game up by a half an hour so that they were the first game of that night so that he could get that shot off.
Carr clearly wasn't defended by you.
Although ETSU's made a three-pointer in every game going back to 1987 when they did.
For the Bulldogs. Try to get it inside of Davis, but it's a turnover. Here comes Bonham the other way for Chattanooga. Bonham pulls up for 3 and connects.
Oh, that was his first attempt from
Kiesler. The putback is there for Bonham.
Well, the smallest guy on the floor was on the weak side to confident stroke. And now the question is, who do you foul? Everybody on the floor shoots it pretty well.
Well, they get it up ahead to Champion. Bonham, he'll take the open shot.
Well, if you make it...
Now Chattanooga has possession and a 12-point lead with 1:11 remaining. This is Bonham.
Well, that's what can make...
Chip Johnson off the inbounds pass. Rains a 3 from the corner.
As we said, team's leading three-point shooter at nearly 40%.
First 3. In on Holt. Now nice job of dishing. Kiesler. That was a tough shot. Battled. Nice play there by Wheeland. Bonham will try and make another 3, and he does.
Look out if you're Chattanooga. Need to get up something quick.
Long 3 by Bonham to make it a 2-possession game, and he does. The Bears do not press full court. Bonham, tough shot, got it to go. 5.6.
Was able to gain possession right before. There's Malik Renew trying to get to the hoop, but Champion was able to close again right underneath the basket.
If I have one criticism of Malik Renew's game is that he doesn't power up strong around the bucket.
That's a foul from behind as Trey banded free throw shooter Ballo. Not too good from the free throw line, just 57%, but he does make that a three-point play. So Indiana trying to get a jump on Chattanooga. An upset-minded team. The Mocs won 21 games last year. Pretty good showing in the Southern Conference. Here's Bonham, who gets 3 plus another foul.
Man, he need to get him in the post.
Rice steps back. His 3 is off the mark, and Ballo is boxed out by Mulholland for the rebound.
See, these Princeton-like cuts allow Chattanooga to get really high percentage in two-point land, even though they really want to shoot the 3.
Kiesler kicks it out. Bonham's open at the top. Not the guy you want open if you're Indiana. And he wins that battle with a bucket.
Great job of keeping his pivot foot down.
Bonham looking for a quick score. Turnaround jumper. He gets it.
Melson will inbound it for Chattanooga.
See how fluid it is, even on the inbounds pass.
And Bonham, guarded by Costal. Works his way around, finds the opening. Mulholland rebounds the miss. Here comes Bonham. Off the glass, Trey Bonham.
Talk about
an athletic conference. Pikeville was picked to finish first in their preseason poll. Tennessee Wesleyan picked to finish 10th in that league. This is, by the way, an exhibition game for Tennessee Wesleyan, so regardless of the outcome tonight, their 3-7 record will remain. For Chattanooga, though, and just one of the oddities, I guess, in college basketball is you see Trey Bonham go off the glass.
Them to do that on the floor.
Nishawn Jones, who had the basket on the opposite end for Tennessee Wesleyan, commits the foul. Deep three on the way. Good. Trey Bonham.
In the lack of pressure, just will ignite your shooting abilities.
Rebound loose. Chattanooga has it. Bonham. And here go the Mocs. Bonham.
In the contact to the chest. But Alabama A&M, 2 trips, 2 offensive fouls, not what they wanted to start this game.
Certainly a very aggressive approach to begin this game. Court-wide swing. And Chattanooga gets on the board first. Bryant responds with a three-pointer.
Alabama A&M, Todd, cut this lead down to 2 currently as they are getting hot behind the three-point line.
$18 on the shot clock. Chattanooga's lead is down to 2 now. Bonham, who's been quiet recently in this game, decides to make a little bit of noise. Today was our featured player for the Bulldogs, and that's Moody, who is his numbers so far very limited. Chattanooga has locked him down. He is 0 of 2 from the field.
Yeah, Moody just can't get going here. Picked up an early foul, and they had to sub him, and he just can't get in the offensive rotation here. Great ball movement from Chattanooga here.
Will he take it?
Oh.
Left all alone with 4 on the shot clock. Scoops it up and in.
Trey Bonham letting everybody.
And that is a tough one to lose your streak on.
Very much so. Yeah, we talked about lineups again. Coach Earl experimenting with one here. You've got 2 starters in Bonham and Huff with Casano, Richards, and Costal.
There's 24 bench points today combined between these 2 teams. Chattanooga has 14 of those.
For the Mocs, both Huff and Bonham missing on the same possession. That is a rare occasion. That's a unicorn, a rare occasion.
Things have gone cold here in the last couple of offensive possessions. Trey Bonham. The strip and the drive. What a play.
Bonham adds to his.
That big time, and he's starting off very well tonight.
Let's take a look at the starting 5 for Chattanooga. Bonham, along with Costel Whelan, Kiesler, and Champion.
Now for Evansville, Pisano gets started off well. That's always a very, very good sign.
A drive and a little up and under finish at the basket. It's over the defense, uses the window, and scores.
He is so patient. He got in there, used the shot fake, waited for the defense to go away, and put it off the glass old-fashioned like I used to do back in the dark ages.
Using that box on the backboard, that's the only way I can make a basket, I'll tell you that. Inside now, the Mocs will look to work. That pass nearly went over the timeline as Bonham goes back to retrieve it, 9 to shoot. He will shoot from there and hit over the...
Great ball movement, but better defense.
The cuff from distance comes up short.
That was a contested shot.
Noah Melson with the basketball as the Mocs look to break a scoring drought here. Kick out to the wing. Bonham made the first man miss, and then Chattanooga run.
First time they've been able to get it down low in a while. When they did what they were supposed to do.
On the drive, here goes Bonham to the basket for 2 more. Back for the Mocs in this possession. Bonham will trigger it inbounds. Huff has it now. And now Bonham again. On the wing, 14 seconds. Kiesler back to Bonham. He'll elevate from distance and deliver again. To Hughes as he goes to the bench.
Turnbull and Hughes, though, have been a good 2-headed monster down low for the Aces.
Already 3 second-half fouls in the first, not quite 3 minutes of the second half for the Aces. None have been whistled against Chattanooga. Chattanooga didn't take a free throw attempt in the first half. 4 to shoot. Elevating and getting the bounce using every bit of elevation. And the finish for Turnbull from Comer.
I would call that a very well-constructed play.
Made eye contact with each other, set it up, and Turnbull threw it home. Good lead pass the other way, answering right back
on the evening, and he's really helped out.
Comer all alone, can't hit the three off the rim, and no good. Transition chance for the Mocs. Bonham, we haven't called his name in a while on the offensive end for Chattanooga. This is Mulholland. Now on the drive, Kiesler gets by Cuff, baseline move, open corner three, flies, boom, big shot.
Four mistakes that they can make is by moving it to somebody who's not into a scoring position. Bash handled that really well.
Whelan rebounds.
Chris, this Bison defense is so good in transition right now. Now, I know it's early, but they are finding their switches and they are finding their marks.
Bonham's three. Three from Powell. Chattanooga will try again with 40 seconds. Bonham found an opening. Would go a long way towards helping the Mocs here. Chattanooga's scoreless in their last 2 minutes, and they've seen a 5-0 run by Lipscomb. And Trey Bonham in mid-major basketball. Chattanooga's Trey Bonham, Bryant's Earl Timberlake.
Yeah, it's there is talent in this country, and it shifts every year from one school to the next.
Trey Bonham. Bonham.
Wow. Among the candidates with Cusano, Melson, and Costal.
Timberlake again, the miss. And it's Whelan with a rebound for Chattanooga. Bash Whelan with an outstanding start to this season. Wide open is Bonham. Withers lost it. Richards took it away from him. Robinson, Cusano now. Bonham, the leaner.
Look, he brings a lot of experience as a scorer. And we're going to get a look at these two guards here for Chattanooga. Bonham and Huff, arguably not playing their best basketball right now.
Neither one shooting better than 33% from the floor.
And just flow with that offense.
5-point lead early for Tennessee State. Here's Bonham to the rim. 3-12 now. Chattanooga trims it to an 8-point game. Weston, short rebound tipped out. And Melson has it on the move for Chattanooga, ahead to Huff.
Chris, Huff was out here for about an hour.
Nkrumah, out of Massachusetts, he was a Division III All-American last year.
Look, he's a threat to score threes, twos, and ones. He is a really good shooter at all aspects.
Bonham run. Tennessee State scoreless for the last 140. Long inbounds pass goes to Jack Costal. Chattanooga works around the perimeter. Here's Bonham. He'll attack the rim and score.
Defensively, this is where he can hurt you a little bit defensively.
Ogundele with a pass into traffic, and Whelan has it for Chattanooga. And Whelan nearly has it stolen away, able to get it to Bonham. Here's Bonham. Nice move underneath. Trey Newt Wood.
3 points, Newt Wood.
Bonham in traffic with the left hand. Trey Bonham.
Consistency in the shooting from behind that three-point line.
Chattanooga's made just one of their last 13 attempts from three. As we get the second half underway, the cutter to Bonham.
Expect to see him try to pull the chair out from behind him and just back up on contact and see if you can cause that offensive player to lose his balance.
Nkrumah with 10. And here's Nkrumah. Dribbles all the way in, shoots over Richards, the miss, the rebound by the 7-footer, and a Gundele knocked away by Malachi Richards, right to the hands of Bonham. Bonham penetrates off the glass.
Spots, even with a little bit of post talent, but his length certainly does make him a defensive problem for the other team's offense.
Jack Costel. Open look, Bonham. Got it.
Look, he is strong. He is physical. Chattanooga's going to do some different things against him defensively that maybe he hasn't seen this year. But so far, they've gone to him early like we knew that they would. And he's got some confidence already.
Bonham's three.
For Chattanooga is going to take a toll on Lockhart.
Emmanuel Atkins, the freshman, firing from the outside. And here comes Trey Bonham going behind the back. Bonham gets to the rim, goes off the glass. Quiet night for him so far. Lockhart tries to back his way down. Here's Moore drawing a crowd. And again, the shot clock goes off, and here comes Chattanooga back on the run after the miss. Bonham.
Right with your teammates, why not?
Georgia native, transfers to Chattanooga to play his senior year after spending a couple of years at Alabama Huntsville. Here goes Bonham underneath. Basket. Corner three is good by Isaiah Poore.
Yeah, now those points off turnovers for Chattanooga have extended to 19. It seems like a bulk of those have come here in the latter half of the second half.
Bonham.
Did a rebound for the Mocs. Chattanooga trying to extend a 2-point lead, 26-24. Mulholland launching is Bonham, and he. Brendan Terry transferred from Pensacola State College. He is out of Santa Monica, California, where he played at Crossroads High School for the Crossroads Roadrunners. And he's coming off a game in which he did not have a rebound in 11 minutes against an NAIA school. Big basket there. Nice crossover. Bonham gets to the rim and finish. So he also shoots the free throws well. Deep three. Washington can't connect. We're tied at 49. Here's Bonham. Scooped it up. Boy. Washington board. 3-ball in the air. Came up short. 54-51 SEMO. Trey Bonham. Ounces for Kiesler. Now Whelan. He's been quiet. Whelan scored at the line, but he does not have a field goal. Bash Whelan. Holding. Loops it out front. This is Latif Juf. Perimeter pass, 3-ball, Bonham, got it.
Just great ball movement there. First, Haney trying to go inside, saw if he had something to Dawson. It wasn't there. Dawson's able to kick it out to an open Brookshire.
And the two guards. Haney will swing it deep in the left corner to him. And a turnover. Going in solo. Bonham will lay it up and lay it in.
Went 6 of 34 from beyond the arc against the Trojans.
Yeah, that's you got the old combination of that probably pretty good defense by USC, but you can't imagine the Mocs are going to shoot that poorly very often.
Bonham found a lane, and Juf and Kiesler. It's Chattanooga with it first. They're moving from left to right if you watch it on television. And we're so glad you're tuned in here on this Thursday night in Moraga. Bonham with Jordan Ross right there, and he puts up a mid-range. He was the Gales leader with 11 points there in the first half. Cusano to Bonham. Bonham working on Ross again. Yes, and one. Here early on in this second half and really throughout the ballgame. From a defensive perspective, letting the Mocs hit as many three-pointers as they have tonight. It's Kiesler to Diouf. Thought about it. Wants to drive on Wessels. Instead, pulls back, and there's 10 on the shot clock. Kiesler. Wessel staying in tight. Now Bonham will just let go, and he's got another run for the Mocs. And another turnover. Here comes Bonham. Bonham off the glass. It's good, and we're tied.
And Dana Altman, of course, his history of dominance.
I'll be in Oregon on Friday. Looking forward to seeing that group. They did well in the portal as well.
Well, they're going to be here. Shot clock is low for Bonham. Does he know it? Yes. And he beats